Magandang umaga po. Andito po kami ngayon sa Paralang North Fairview High School upang isagawa ang pag-interview sa dalawang teachers ukol sa K-12 program.
Okay, I'm Mrs. Nancy Simalan. I teach here at North Fairview High School, grade 8.
My name is Hugo Vargas. I'm from North Fairview High School, teaching grade 7.
So, start na ako. So, first, Ma'am Simangan and Sir Luter. First question is, how will they be affected with the K-12 program?
Affected by students, administrators, teachers, in general, sa students. Actually, ang K-12 program, maganda siya sa mga bata. Kaya lang, masyadong mahaba. Okay, 6 years. Marami kasi tayo mga bata dito sa North Fairview, especially mga public, may hirap. Kumbaga yung means of, yung everyday nila sa akin, hirap na sila. So how much more kapag dinagdagan na? Pero, ang kainaman ng K-12, okay, yung class ko kasi, parang ang kalalabas mo ay pag-aral sila na parang test na tayo. That it's their choice kung magpapatuloy ang college or magtatrabaho na sila. Yun na yung kailangan ng K-12. So yun, affected siguro money-wise. Yun. So, Sir Luter.
Okay. So, sa akin naman, mapunta tayo sa curriculum, di ba? Sa K-12 kasi, dun sa grade 7 lessons, they are all very, deeper compared sa more advanced sa K-12 ngayon compared sa first year. Kasi yung book, we are using modular approach yung ginagamit namin, approach. So it's no longer textbooks, but they are all modules. So in there, meron silang yung understanding ng lesson. It's not necessary na matapos yung isang, you don't have to finish everything. Basta, there is understanding in the part of the students, and with the use of pre-test, post-test na tinatawag. So, yung learning span nila, it covers, it's not necessary talaga na you have to finish the book. So, yun. So, in terms of teachers, of course, since this is the first year or the 2 years of implementation of the K-12, medyo hindi pa masyadong master ng mga bawat isa using the modular approach. Pero since we have already background naman, so we are in the process na kailangan dapat, okay, you have to focus on this before going to the next. So, parang ganun. And the effect naman sa mga parents, siguro, since it's very long, 6 years of in high school, it's really money matters. And new years of staying at school.
The next is, what changes will they make in their teaching style, contents, methods, and medium of instruction?
Teaching style, ngayon more on bata na ang gumagawa. Kumbaga, nandito lang kami to facilitate. Kumbaga, it's them, yung mga students na ang, kumbaga, mag-discover kung ano yung topic namin. Tapos, yung dito naman sa medium of instruction, meron na tayong tinatawag na mother tongue. Kaya si mother tongue, kung ano talaga yung nakasanayan nila, ano yung napopractice nila sa bahay, yun yung nagiging medium of instruction. So, halimbawa dito sa Manila, Tagalog. Kasi alam nyo, actually, may mga bata na talaga hindi sila nakakaintindi kapag ka nag-i-English ang teacher. Walang participation pagka nagsasalita ng English ang teacher. Pero pag tinagalog mo yan, yung tanong na yan, lahat sila magsasalita. Kaya, yun, mother tongue.
Okay. So, of course, in terms of teaching styles, syempre, andyan pa rin yung auditory learners, visual learners, tactile learners na yung mga styles sa mga bata, andun pa rin. And we don't have to look out with those styles, di ba? So, ginagamit namin, of course, since MAPE subject, so, we use what you call mga music, photos, videos, mga ganun. So, andun pa rin. So, students are really benefited with these styles na ginagamit, teaching styles ng mga teachers. But it depends. Ang problem sometimes, since it's public, syempre, kulang sa facility, so teachers na provide. So, which is okay lang naman in the part of teachers. And then, innovation, very innovative ang mga teachers. And, kasi sa contents naman, may mga methods of teaching. Of course, andyan yung inductive method, deductive method. We give a specific muna before going to generalization, or you could also use deductive, generalization to specific. So andyan pa rin naman yung maybe there are changes, but yung original pa rin na nandun pa rin yung content, yung methods na ginagamit ay yung tawag naman yung sa dating curriculum na old curriculum. Sa medium of instruction, pag English, minsan tinatagalog just for them to understand. Sa mathematics, ganun din. Pero since mga jargons, yung mga words sa math, technical terms, hindi mo pwedeng i-translate. So, yun pa rin.
Nag-discuss ng pag-aaral. Pero hindi na kailangan palitan yung halimbawa, triangular, mahirap, mas mahirap. Para lang mahirap.
So, the next is, how are they being prepared by their school administrators in terms of seminars, trainings, facilities, reading materials, and equipment?
Administrators dito, wala eh. Siguro sa higher up, ito, seminars. Tapos, dito sa seminars, trainings, kaya lang isa nakikita mo, gaya ng K-12, parang hindi pinag-aralan ng mga basta na lang sinabi nila ngayong taon na to, the next year, ayan na, sinalpak na nila. Na hindi nila iniisip, ano ba yung mga dapat ko nag-prepare pagdating sa K-12. Mahirap talaga. Tapos, pangalawa, asan tayo?
Number 3.
No, reading materials, ayan. Sabi nila, after ng K-12 seminar namin noong summer, by June, nandyan na lahat. Kasi sila na mag-provide yung materials namin. Until na wala na din. Kaya, lagi kami sa internet. Kasi hindi mo naman pwede ibigay lang sa bata namin. Kaya kami na
Sa mga, how they are being prepared by their school administrators in the seminars, as far as I'm concerned naman, meron bang seminars na inatidan ng mga bata?
Not bata, teachers.
Teachers? Okay.
Yun na, yung K-12, yung kasi grade 7 and grade 8 pa lang so far ang naka-attend ng K-12 seminar. So, ang third year, etong summer. So far, yun pa lang. Yun lang, 1 week lang yung seminar yun.
Dun sa seminar na yun, they just unlock yung mga, they just unlock anong dapat mo methods na pwede mong gamitin.
Then, our question is, will their salary and teaching schedule change?
Yung salary, no. Yun nga nakakaibis, alam mo. No. Pero yung teaching schedule be change, anong ibig sabihin?
Until we na-change yung schedule sa mga subjects.
Paano? Wala kasi.
Dati ma'am sa MAPE, sa old curriculum, 50 minutes. So now it's already 60 minutes. Parang gano'n.
Sa K-12, noon, okay, isang 50 minutes lang kami nun eh. Ngayon 1 hour. Tapos ang mahirap pa dito sa K-12 ngayon, 4 components na kami na dati, ang kinocompute lang namin pang kalahatan, using arts, PNL, isang grade lang. Pero ngayon, 4 na components. Pang grade sa music, sa arts, PE, and math. Yun dapat mga short, post-cutting. Dapat natigil isang teacher sa 4 na to. Hindi, kami lahat. Kaya yung salary, sana nga tutas.
Teaching schedule.
Nadagdagan pa nga. Nadagdagan pa nga.
6 teaching schedule. Teaching schedule na. Yung from 50
Alam mo,
change or style.
pwede yung... Safety.
Sa Manila, Manila setting, from 6 to 12:30, yung teaching schedule ng bawat teacher.
Basta we should be at least teaching ourselves
6 teaching service.
Then, fifth question is, do they agree with the K-12 program? Why or why?
The flower.
K-12 program. K-12 meron kasi yung K-12 may positive, negative. Positive sa negative muna tayo sa K-12. Yung negative sa K-12, para sa mga bata, dadagdagan sila. Sa teachers, okay lang yun. Ito lang natin. Sa mga bata, negative pa doon, parang kayo mga observation namin. Parang unti-unting nag-degrade na yung learning ng mga bata. Why? Kasi parang alam mo, sa K-12, parang ang ano dito, mass promotion. Ang nangyayari, halimbawa, di ba, ang bata pag bumagsak ng first grade, ano lang, parang college na competition lang, kung ano lang yung areas niya, yun lang ang gagawin niya, ipapasok siya. Sige, ganun. Kaya ang bata, kapag hindi pumasok, kahit let's say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, basta pin-upan lang niya yung kung ano yung bagsakin niya, papasan na siya. Yun ang pangit ng K-12. Kaya parang may na-observe namin na bumababa. Marami nang tamad ng mga bata. Actually, marami nang hindi pumapasok kasi alam mo, sabi ng mga bata, kahit di ako pumasok, pasado pa rin. Unlike noon, dapat talaga kapag bagsak ka sa first grading at wala kang ginawa, diretso yung balik na. Sa K-12, yun ang negative. Ang positive naman, pag ang bata ay pinagpatuloy hanggang 6 years, after nila, makakapagtrabaho na alagas nila. Sayang. Pero ito ba?
In the part of parents, of course, 6 years of staying at high school, syempre, something that's very different, di ba? Unlike before. So, pero, yun nga, K-12 is into mass promotion. So, bawal ka dapat mambagsak ng bata. You have to do something. Kasi, once na you fail a person or a student, it's a teacher's factor yan. So, kailangan namin, sa teachers, of course, we have to do remedial instruction na kailangan, of course, attend, don't get absent. Yung halimbawa sa rubric scoring, ang included doon, timeliness ng project. So, what if yung half of the class, halimbawa based on my experiences, half of the class, hindi sila papasok ng project. So dun sa competition grades, that's the time, come on, pass your projects now. Kasi we don't like our students to fail. And that is the instruction of the division. So, mass promotion, bawal magbagsak, you have to do something for them to pass.
So, sir, meron ka bang pwede sabihin na advantage mo at saka disadvantage?
Oo, yun na. So, advantage, syempre, students, disadvantage, ang students natin very confident. Yun, of course, sabi, as what ma'am said, di ba? Parang, okay, ang daming absences ng mga bata. Pero, makakapasa na rin sila after knowing na ganun pala yung K-12. That's a disadvantage. Pero ang advantage naman, kapag ang students ay very diligent sa kanyang makakapasa talaga sila for promotion hanggang sila ay
So, yun lang po, sir, ma'am. Thank you so much po sa time.
Game.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome here to New Era University High School Department. I'm Dr. Nanette of the Social Studies Department. And the subject chair of Social Studies, and at the same time a 40-year teacher teaching economics and research. So it's my pleasure to face you right now, because I believe that you have a series of questions about the curriculum that our education system is adopting at present. It's my pleasure to answer some of your questions to the best of my ability.
First of all, so we wanted to ask you some questions. So here are the questions. So number one, how will they be affected by the grade to 12 program?
So that's what I've been mentioning a while ago. When you are talking of they, because there's a lot of stakeholders, so let's take a look at the perspective of the case of the students. So how would the student be affected by the K-12? So present, those who are at grade 3 up to grade 9, of course, all of them will be graduating up to K-12, meaning grade 12. While those who are in third year right now, they will not be affected anymore. So meaning they will be having their 10-year high school program. But those who are at grade 8 right now, so they will be graduating, taking up to senior high school, which is grade 11 and grade 12. In terms of parents, of course, they will be affected in terms in which if their sons or daughters will be part of these changes, then from 10 year to 12 years, of course, there's a lot of negative feedback about this, because it is an additional cost to them. But to be fair with the K-12 curriculum, if they will be balancing the economic context of this, not that much, it's an advantage to them. In the case of schools, administrations, the government, well, there's a lot of things to work on. Additional teachers, infrastructures, school buildings. So these are things to. Well, in the case of teachers, because we are one of the stakeholders, and I think the question is pertains to us, how we will be affected by this. I think not that much, because there will be no such thing as great changes in terms of the subject matter to be taught, the competencies to be mastered by the students. There's an advantage on us in the sense that there will be additional 2 years for the basic education curriculum or systems we have. Well, later I know that there will be some questions about the curriculum that you'll be adopting. What's the difference between the old and the one? The previous, we have what we call the horizontal discussions of lessons. Now, it will be spiral, especially subjects like science, mathematics. So, like for example, in grade 7, science will be taught dealing with 4 areas: neuroscience, biology, chemistry, and physics. The same with the second year, the same. So as they goes by, spiral in the sense that the first level, they will be expanding up to the 4th year. So in order that they will be mastering every competencies in the different areas. So the same with mathematics. Well, in our field, in social studies, although there are so many changes, because when we attended the previous seminars, there were a lot of confusions in terms of the distributions of topic areas in social studies. So we are still confirming we will still be having some meetings in the department to finalize what to adopt, the previous one, or we will be having a status quo, or we will be changing.
Thank you, sir. So, next question, sir, is what changes will they make in their teaching style, contents, methods, and medium of instruction?
Okay, talking of those four variables that you're mentioning, teaching styles, of course, there's no so much difference. Meaning, although the context is those subjects that I mentioned already, that in spiral approach, of course, there is a big difference. In terms of, what's the other variable that you mentioned?
Contents, sir.
Content.
Methods.
Well, for me, in social studies, there's no changes because in terms of content, history is history. So you're going to change that. Even though in economics, principles and theories in economics, laws are almost the same. But I think there will be changes in terms of content, how we deal with them, even though it's mathematics, the same discussions of algebra, trigonometry. Will still matter on how it is being allocated in every grading period. I think that's the only difference. And then the other one is
Methods, sir.
methods. Well, methods is standardized, although in the K-12, we are giving emphasis on understanding by design. So we will be using UBD, which is not new. We are just resurrecting those previous methods that are we find it effective as time goes by, so there will be changes, and then we go back again to the basic.
So let's proceed to the question number 3, sir. How are they being prepared by their school administrators in terms of seminars, trainings, facilities, and reading materials and equipment?
Oh, that's a great question because yes, after 2 years of implementing K-12, because we're already in grade 8 and we are coming to grade 9 this school year, there's really an extensive series of seminars, workshops, and we are always encouraged to attend conferences and seminars sponsored by different organizations that deals with these changes in the curriculum. Because we need those new informations on how to approach the new curriculum. So, in our case, New Era University High School, we are conducting regular seminars and at the same time workshops. Because one thing is for sure, the grading system is new. And that's another challenge. I forgot to mention that a while ago, that the grading system is really different from that of the previous one. So in the K-12, in this curriculum, you cannot find any more card or report card of the students with numerical value. These are all adjectival, so we use letters. So in terms of the percentage, meaning talking of the passing percentage in public, I think they are implementing the 70% passing, while us from 50% we raise it to 60%. But I think that is a transitional mode, and we will go with what we call this, with a different context, talking of the passing percentage that will be adopting. So when we will be completing the junior high school to grade 10, I think we will cross the bridge when we are there. It's one of the major changes, by the way. K-12 is the grading system that we are adopting, that will be adopting, because it's K-pop, the Korean pop, but it's knowledge, product, understanding, and process.
Sir, thank you for that answer. So according to question number 4, it states that will their salary and teaching schedule be changed?
Well, salary-wise, it depends on the administration. In the public school, I think there's really much difference because they have the standardization of salaries. So every year, their salary is not to us, it depends on the number of units that you're handling. At the same time, If we raise questions like tuition increase, then our salary will also increase. But if there's no increase, tuition increase, then we don't have also an increase. There's no significant changes in terms of the salary, but in terms of number of hours, number of teachings, this is one of another changes that I failed to mention also is that, thank you for asking that, because the number of hours were reduced from the previous one, from the PEG, the modified, and the SEG. From, I think in social studies, the typical example is social studies, from 240 it was reduced to 200, and now in K to 12 we're under 180 minutes per week, which is 3 hours. So there is really a significant changes in terms of the loading of the teachers that may affect, of course, our salary. In terms of that, we will not be maintaining the total number of units or hours of teaching every week.
So, another question, sir. Do they agree with the K-12 program? Why or why not?
Okay, if you're asking me about that, of course, I'm always reiterating this to my education students when I'm teaching them about some policies and changes in terms of educational reforms. I'm very positive about K to 12. I myself is an take this bitter pills. We have to swallow it, or else we will not develop or we will not improve our education system. But the dilemma that we are facing right now is because of some changes that we are not foreseeing at present. There's a lot of reservations in my mind about this issue, but for me, as far as your question is concerned, yes, I'm 100% to that, because we cannot do away with change, we cannot do away with restructuring our curriculum, because it is a must for the Philippines to undergo with this. But the real question that you're always posing in this context is especially talking of public education, public school education, public education, or even in private, is how prepared are we to face this challenge? So sometimes change is very difficult to adapt, especially if there's a lot of what we call this issues that cannot be resolved or cannot be answered. So we have no other way around but to make some efforts. So that's why we are preparing also our education students, future teachers, about these challenges that is ahead of them.
Sir, last question po. Sa palagay po ninyo, makakatulong po ba sa pag-unlad ng ating bansa ang K-12 program?
Well, so for talking of educational reform, that's what I've been mentioning a while ago. We really need this. If we want Philippines to develop and to be competitive in terms of its education, its product, which are human resource. Yeah, we're so very positive because if it will be properly implemented, there's no reason it could not happen. Because if our student graduated in senior high school, which is in proper age already and prepared, there are two ways that they will be choosing in the field of work or in the field of academic endeavor, further academic endeavor, then that's one way. If our products and our graduates are competitive or human resources competitive, they can, I think it's good that they will become the future of this country, can affect development. And like yours, like you, students, and I hope that this is the very trust that we are going through. Although there's a lot of challenges, but we have to face this squarely because we cannot do away with this. And I hope so, and we're crossing our finger that with the political will of the government, if there is any, and we are optimistic that there must be always, yeah, we can go through with this. It's for the Philippines. Walang magmamahal sa bansang to kung kita niyo. Huwag kayong aalis sa Pilipinas. Malingkod kayo kung pagkatapos.
Okay,
Hindi
sir.
kayo ang pag-asa ng bayan. Ngiti-ngiti lang. Ang totoo.
Thank you po. Thank you po. That's
You're so
all.
very much welcome and to some of the thoughts about the K-12 because to be fair with you and to be honest, I think some of our college professors are not really aware of this. Just molding you, we are so very thankful to your professor that giving this task. And for you to be oriented with because it's not only the obligation of the Department of Education, but it's also the check on how to program the offerings and the curriculum of college in order to match with what's the demand of the society, in which it is only for one question and one aim. Philippines, which is ang sabi ng Department of Tourism, ano yung kanang slogan? It's more fun.
In Philippines.
That's all.
That's all. Thank you, sir.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Sir, thank you po sa time, sir.